Hi there. My name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And hi, I'm James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James.
And we are here to talk to you about a very important topic. Do you have the right to be happy when others aren't? And by the way, did you turn the volume off
I'll do
on
that
your
right
laptop?
now.
Okay. But before we talk about this, I would like Sweet Baby James to introduce us to our show.
Yes, welcome to Granny Rocks, where we have the opportunity to receive and listen to and take in her wit, her wisdom, and her very uncommon sense every Wednesday and Friday evening.
No, every Monday and Wednesday.
Did I say Monday and Wednesday? Ha ha ha! Yep,
Yep,
Monday
that
and
would be it.
Wednesday, 6:30 p.m.
That would be it.
And then it'll air the rest of the week if you didn't catch it live.
Right.
And without further ado, here's Granny.
And we're trying an experiment today because James is going to be watching. See, I would suggest that you refresh that computer and see if it's working. So we're going to try to do the comments a little bit different. So, anyway, here's my theory. You do not have the right to be happy when others aren't. You have the responsibility to be happy even when others aren't. Okay, so I want to tell you that I have always had trouble feeling that I had a right to be happy, much less even know how to do it, right? So here's an example of when it could be very tough. You go to a funeral and a man or a woman or, a trans person uh, has just lost somebody, and you go toward the grieving husband or wife, an example, and you don't say, "I'm sorry for your loss, but my relationship is going great," right? That may not be good timing. That may be that it's not for the highest good of all, right? Because that has to include the other person and me and so on. But some of us take this to extreme. For example, I do this, do you ever say, put yourself down to minimize your accomplishments because someone else feels bad about themselves? Oh, think about that. Let's see what's happening. It
Well,
looks like we
Amy
already
says
have.
hello. Hi, Granny and SBJ.
Hello, Amy.
Hi,
So glad to
Amy.
hear you. So, no, if somebody feels bad about themselves, I have a tendency to minimize all the good things that are going on in my life or that are good about me, right? So, because I don't want them to feel bad, right? And if someone in my presence is unhappy, it's hard for me to hold on to the way I feel if I do feel happy. In fact, I don't even know that I feel happy. So there's reasons for that that have to do with energy. Like, oh, I'm picking up your energy and I think it's mine and all that. But I would like to deal with the psychological issues. So, James,
Oh,
can
yeah,
you?
Luann. She says hi from Lizzie and Lulu. Hello, hello. And she sends
Very
love.
good, very good. So, many of us feel guilty when surrounded by misery, and we try to look or act miserable too. And it can start way back in childhood. Okay, so do you identify? I mean, have you ever done this? So, let's say you were a happy child, but your father was breaking his back working to support the family. Or your mother is overwhelmed by housework and childcare, or housework and childcare and an outside job. And are you going to bop around saying, "I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, no, I'm going to go play"? Not if you feel guilty, especially if you're made to feel guilty. Honey,
Hmm.
are you watching?
Well, oh, Paula says, you do rock, both of you. Well, thank you, Paula.
Okay, and
And
you
then here's
just keep.
Amy says, yes, I have often put down, minimized, or even not even mentioned my accomplishments so that someone won't feel jealous, get angry, or bad about themselves.
That's right, that's really good. So sometimes our parents are pressuring us to look happy because that's the purpose of their sacrifice. Oh, if you're not happy, then why am I doing all this? But sometimes on an unconscious level, they resent all they have to do for us or to provide for us, and they want us to feel guilty. Or sometimes we take on the guilt because guilt is a common theme in the family, and that becomes the automatic response to everything. So, looks like we have more comments.
Well, we have a good morning, my dear friends. I'm from Iraq.
Great. Lovely.
And there was another one that's got an Arabic name, and I can't read.
Can't read a thing.
But later on, we can translate it.
Absolutely.
And Beth can comment back to you.
So sometimes the misery of others has absolutely nothing to do with us anyway. Dad is angry because he gave up on a career because of us. You know, he was going to become an architect, but instead we got pregnant, and then here I am. Or he's gay, and perhaps the other dad wants dad number one to suffer because he's frustrated by a lack of love in their relationship, and there's just bad feelings all around. So does any of this have anything to do with you? Not really. Well, you do exist, and your existence probably cost money, but it wasn't your choice. You're the outcome of your parents' decisions. And sometimes people's parents break up even before they are born, and then you really have a reason to feel guilty because you feel that you broke them up or you didn't hold them together. So now you're feeling guilty. So how can you feel happy when you've caused so much distress? Or maybe you have a disabled sister or brother, and what right do you have to be happy if your sibling is struggling in school or socially or just in getting around? See, maybe your parents don't want to admit that they resent the disabled child as causing more work or expenses. And so they withhold their love or other kinds of support from you, trying to cover up their resentment towards the special needs child. And you think they're withholding from you because of you, not because of them and the way they're feeling. So I hope that this is, ringing some bells here, right?
It is. It really is.
So obviously it's not just in our families. There's a whole world full of pain and suffering. But maybe you just have a little more or a lot more than other kids in the neighborhood. And you can understandably question, what right do you have to be favored by the universe? Maybe you have more than others because you were born into wealth, or because one of your parents rose in the world because they are smart, or because they're cheating the whole neighborhood, or maybe they're working for a corrupt government and hurting people. Well, ow, that feels kind of icky, doesn't it? Now, are any of these things good? No. But what should we do about it? Be miserable? Starve yourself or give yourself some terrible disease? What will that help? See, that's kind of my thing, Now,
so you've been there, done that.
I have been there, done that. Yes, indeed. So maybe you don't even have just more things, but you are more cared for, more talented, or you were born with the happy genes. And it feels so unfair. So looking at all this, why do I say you don't have the right, you have the responsibility to be happy? It sounds like I'm saying, no, you should feel guilty. No, it's more than that. I have a responsibility to embrace the beneficial energies destined for me, and I have a responsibility to use them with an open heart. So let's go back to happiness. My mood can help lift your mood. James, are you?
Oh, yes, now we have one. No, I've been watching, and just now this came in.
Okay.
Yasin says, hi, dear. How are you? Nice to meet you. She sends love and flowers and blessing.
Lovely, lovely.
Thank you, Yasin. Thank you.
Lovely. So let's go back to happiness. My mood, if it's positive, can help lift your mood. I can use my wealth to help create wealth for others. I can project love to others who need it. I can create a sanctuary, not necessarily a physical one, but an emotional sanctuary that others can enjoy. I can use my resources to fight for the rights of others. In other words, I can use my gifts to help. Now, when I was younger, I had some big choices to make. I was born into a poor family, but I was extremely smart. My parents sacrificed for their children, and I did not have to work early. College was free, and I got to go to school. And my parents didn't have any of those advantages. Neither of them actually had a high school education. My mother had a commercial diploma. My father dropped out of high school when he was in the 10th grade. So even as a young girl, I saw the pain of inequality among people, and I did not feel comfortable taking advantage of my advantages. So I gave up the easier way, and I didn't follow a path to be an academic, which looked like it was going to be the easier way. No, I became a social activist, and in the end, I ended up working in very low paid jobs. You can see that I always used my advantages anyway. I used my education to help my fellows in the typing pool and the file rooms. I fought for the good of all. See, I used my education, I used my advantages, I used my intelligence, I used my gumption, right?
Yeah, not to mention your chutzpah.
That's right.
And now Tina says, hello, my favorite people. Oh, Tina,
oh,
you're wonderful.
Tina, it's so good to hear from you. So it doesn't matter which choice I made in terms of rising above others or not. What mattered was I embraced my gifts and used them for everyone, including me, right? And I did the same thing with happiness. I didn't feel comfortable having it. And yet now I realize that when I am happy, when I am unhappy, I am pulling on others to fix me. You know, now not only are you miserable, but I'm miserable, and then you have to fix me, and we're all miserable together, and it's a drain on you, and all of that stuff. So, but when I'm happy, I can bring joy to others just by helping to create a happy environment. Now, some people are extremely selfish and self-centered. That's very ego. That's not the highest good of all, including me. These people have not learned that joy comes from connection and sharing. And they may try to grab all the joy for themselves. I want all my parents' attention, or all the awards, or what might ever, count to them. What the heck does that mean? I mean that whatever counts to me, what I think is important. But these people are not happy. People who are really happy are more relaxed, more giving, more of a pleasure to be around. They're not competing, they're not grabbing, right? So remember this. Good music can be heard by everyone in the street or on the internet, right? Sunshine can be shared by everyone. And joy can be shared, but only if we have it. How can you share something you don't have?
And Judy says, if there's a battle, Beth, I want you on my side. I think we would win.
I love that,
Woo-hoo! Judy. Thank you, Judy.
I want you on my side, too.
So she's been a fighter for justice and caring for people for a long, long time.
So remember, sunshine can be shared by anybody, and we don't have to stay in a dark, dank house. We can go out in the sunshine and get happy and invite other people to come out with us. And joy can be shared, but only if we have it. I wanted to repeat that. So, guys, embrace the beneficial energies destined for you. Staying in the house on a sunny day will not help anyone.
And a really wonderful smile can be infectious.
It can be.
It can spread from person to person to person.
It can. And shutting out the pleasures of music or anything else that really nurtures you will only make you poorer and more needy. And then it doesn't offer anything. So.
And by the way, Tina says, I agree.
Ooh, I love it,
and
Tina.
She sends a heart.
Thank you. Embrace all the beneficial energies destined for you. Because if you don't, they're not going to go to anybody else. They have your name on it. This joy, this happiness, is destined for you, and you need to embrace it. And then you need to open your heart to doing your part in making a better world.
And Debbie says, "Hi, James and Beth. Such a good topic." Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you. It looks like there was another comment here.
Oh, yes, Amy had a comment. Amy said, "Earlier today, I pulled on at least 4 people because I was upset and thought I was entitled to act any way I wanted. I admit that I actually do that more often than hold back my happiness from others who are unhappy." Oh, that's the end of that. Oh, wait. "Lots of work for me to do for sure. I need to share my music instead."
Oh, that is a very good point, Amy. What do you have that expresses your happiness and joy? So now I want to talk just a little bit more about creating a sanctuary. You know, a sanctuary doesn't have to be a building. It doesn't have to have an altar. It doesn't have to be any of those things. A sanctuary is a safe place. And when our hearts are happy and we feel safe within ourselves, people automatically feel safer with us. Don't you think?
I agree with that.
So, what do you think, guys? Anybody would like to share more about how they are now going to be more dedicated to embracing their happiness and sharing it with others? And does everybody get why I'm saying this is a responsibility? Because it's not about right. It's about knowing that this is the way that we're going to help the world. And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm a millionaire. You know, we had a very interesting interview with a guy.
Yeah, who happened to be a millionaire?
He
or
was
had been.
born, you know, with a silver spoon in his mouth. He called it being born on third base. And he gave up his money. But you know why? Because it didn't make him happy.
Right.
He found that connecting to people is what made him happy. He did not sacrifice. He went toward the thing that made him happy.
We have a message here from Luann. "I shared music today when the plumber was working in the garage. I was practicing a jazz ballad on the piano."
Oh, that's divine.
Yeah, it's a great example.
That is a
Well,
great
you've
example.
done that too. There were people here working on the chairlift for the stairway, and you were just playing on your piano, and they loved it, and it really made their day, so to speak.
So what about you, James? I've talked about myself and how neurotic I have been about, oh, things aren't that good. I do this with James all the time. Oh no, things aren't really that good for me. I don't have any accomplishments. I always put myself down because I don't want him to feel bad. So what have you got to say?
Well, I find, well, first of all, there are certain things I do to make me happy. Like I start singing a song, say like zippity doo dah, zippity yay, my oh my, what a wonderful day, you know. And that changes my mood. It helps a lot. In fact, I have a whole soundtrack of different collection of songs that are joyful songs. That's one thing I do. The other thing is to share music, with others as well. And then I come to you happier as well.
He does, because when he's unhappy, I am unhappy. And I don't want that. No, I don't. So, does anyone else have something that they would like to share before we call it a night? In the meantime, why don't we feel some happiness inside and say, I don't have to feel guilty about being happy. I need to offer this gift to the world. People need happiness. You know,
well, another thing I'd like to add is that we have a tendency to think about what we don't have and what we think we need, and we strive for that. And if we can just cultivate more a sense of appreciation of what we do have, and an attitude of gratitude, you know.
That's
and then
right.
that generates a positive feeling inside, and then we can take that to others, share that with others.
So let's not diminish our happiness because we feel guilty or because we think that looks more noble or because we're being considerate or anything like that. Let us hold that energy and trust that that inner space is a sanctuary for everyone.
Yeah. Well, we've had more people join, but
That's
we haven't
just
seen any more
wonderful.
comments. So
That's wonderful. So, guys, if you made a comment and I didn't respond, that's because we didn't see it. But it kind of worked having it doing
wait,
it this
here's
way.
one. Tina. Tina says, I totally love James's singing and Beth's intuitive piano. James' song in Longing for Home just made happy tears, and Beth's piano takes stress off of me by refreshing my soul. I want to see the rest. Priceless gifts. Thank you, guys, with a big smile and a kiss. Sending love. Anjana says hi. Anjana says good morning.
Well, Anjana must be living somewhere else because it's night here, but it's morning where you are.
Other side of the world, but we're all one.
Right. So, in the midst of the coronavirus, I want to emphasize happiness and spread happiness and try to help people to become more relaxed and happy and less focused on the negative. That's what I want. So, as James said, Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 Pacific time, we broadcast Granny Rocks. And Thursday, I will be playing the piano for you again. So it is always my pleasure, and I feel so happy to be connecting to our wonderful audience. And I want to share that happiness with you. And we can be happy together no matter what's going on out there. You know, it could be raining, it could be miserable. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of death. And there's a lot of people who don't have much to be happy about. But I want to keep that happiness going because that's where the love comes from that everybody needs.
Yes.
So I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. We love you.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.